Right now, on to the point, a weather impact alert from the high country to the valley. Rain and snow causing headaches on the road.
Incredible moisture being brought in by an atmospheric river. The record rainfall we're seeing across the region.
Plus, the Trump transition. Can California afford to fight the legal challenges against the next administration?
We're playing a bit of a guessing game at this point.
Teaching financial literacy, when and how California plans to roll out a new requirement in high schools. And later on the back roads, the fall colors lighting up the Eastern Sierra. Thank you for ending your week with us. On to the point. I'm Alex Bell, and tonight we are following that weather impact alert. We have been tracking conditions all day on the roadways from I-5 to Highway 50 in the high country. And right now, chain controls are in effect along I-80 in the Sierra and in the valley. This atmospheric river is causing crashes, hazardous roads, and of course, flooding. In one situation, flooding trapped unhoused people on an island. ABC 10's Garshpal Sangha joins us live tonight from Northgate's Gardenland neighborhood. And Garshpal, what can you tell us that you've learned so far about this water rescue?
Yeah, Alex, we're just about a block and a half away from where that rescue happened. And Sacramento Fire tells us they helped the people that needed help. But let's go and show you video of what that scene looked like just about 30 minutes to an hour. We're told Sac Fire got the call around 4:30 of a rescue and that they helped people in the area. And we're told that that the fire department says they were called out to the portion of Steelhead Creek near Bowman Avenue of multiple people stuck on an island due to rising waters. So when the crews arrived, they discovered it was homeless individuals. The fire department said many of them refused help, but they were able to rescue a man and his dog. So that rescue only lasted about an hour and a half. That scene has since been cleared. And fire crews not only dealing with water rescues, but a lot of the calls that they've been responding to today are traffic collision. As I mentioned, I'm just a block and a half away from where we were. And the reason why we're here, we just want to show you kind of the localized flooding. That's the concern crews have been worried about for drivers, and it's hard to see, especially at night. So that is why they want people to make sure to keep your eyes on the road. Driving conditions have been rough. And on the valley floor, it's standing water on the freeway and on the road, and that is causing a mess. So the message that crews are asking people, if you're going to be driving out and about, it's not recommended, but if you are going to be driving out and about, make sure you keep your eyes on the road and also that you give yourself enough time. So just be careful out here. For that water rescue, one man was rescued and his dog was rescued, but it's going to be a long night for fire officials as the storm continues. Reporting live in Sacramento, Garshpal Sangha, ABC 10.
Thank you so much. I want to get over to our amazing team of meteorologists. They have been tracking this all day. Carly Gomez joining us tonight. Carly, these conditions are changing very fast.
Very quickly. It's a fast-moving storm system, but it has been staying in place for quite some time. We got a small break in the overnight hours, but it was back at it just after the morning commute as we got a lot of that heavy rain continuing. As we move through tonight, we're seeing it still up north all the way down now towards Stockton, Modesto. Modesto only seeing trace amounts as of just about 2 hours ago. They said they only got a little bit of sprinkles. Now they're starting to see that rain pushing in. We'll see the system moving toward the southeast through tonight, and we're starting to see more of that snow accumulating up high in the Sierras. Temperatures begin to drop. Flash flood watches, warnings, and advisories in place. We have broken a record, 1.65, the new record for downtown of rainfall for this date, 1.07. Last record, 1978. 1.5 inches to almost 2 inches of rain from Sacramento north, and we're expecting to see a lot more rain through tonight. Now, our weather impact alert through Tuesday. Of course, the impact, the showers, the flooding, and that potential to make sure you're watching the roadways and that localized flooding and standing waters on the roads as well. Slick roads up in the Sierra and a lot of ponding on our local roadways. Now, winter storm warning is in effect till 4 p.m. And of course, you're seeing a lot of that green there. That's a flood advisory around Sacramento all the way north until 9 p.m. That's for tonight. A lot of people heading out tonight. Please be safe. Just take it nice and slow. No rush. Saturday afternoon, we should see some clearing at least through most of your Sunday. By Sunday night, we see the return of rain and snow into Monday. Begins tapering off. We have another chance for that on Tuesday again. So we are tracking it all for you. We'll bring you the latest as we have more of the storm system coming our way. We'll bring you more of what to expect next week.
And our weather coverage does not stop here. We'll have more on our holiday forecast coming up a little bit later in the show, but you can also watch extended forecast on our free ABC 10 Plus app wherever you stream. Tonight, new updates in the November election and two races that we have been watching very closely. First, the race for Sacramento's next mayor. The gap between Dr. Flo Kofer and Assemblymember Kevin McCarty just continues to tighten. McCarty remains in the lead with 51% of the vote. Kofer is just close behind with 49% of the vote. And right now, a little over 3,000 votes separate the two candidates. The next batch of results will be released on Tuesday. And in Congressional District 13, Republican incumbent John Duarte and Democrat Adam Gray are tied with 50% of the vote. Only, get this, only 220 votes separate the two candidates. This is a rematch of an extremely close race back in 2022, where Duarte won by 564 votes. We're going to continue to watch that. But I want to get to President-elect Donald Trump. He announced more nominations for his next cabinet. We have a few names we want to bring you tonight. First, Trump naming billionaire Scott Bessent for Treasury Secretary. We have Dr. Jeanette Neshwat as Surgeon General. Former Republican Congressman and Dr. Dave Weldon has been nominated to serve as Director of the CDC. We have Marty McCary. He has been nominated as FDA Commissioner. And then Scott Turner, former NFL veteran, as the Secretary of United States Department of Housing and Urban Development. And last, we have Representative Lori Chavez DeRemer, an Oregon Republican, as his labor secretary. Now, 2 weeks ago, as we reported, Governor Gavin Newsom called a special session for December. He's asking lawmakers to allocate extra money to the California Department of Justice as the state attorney general prepares to push back on Trump's policies. But can California afford to fight the Trump administration? ABC 10's Becca Habegger joins us now with more.
Yeah, Alex, during Trump's first presidency, California sued him on average once every 12 days. That's 122 lawsuits. Now, Cal Matters reports our state spent some $41 million during those 4 years fighting Trump's regulations and rollbacks involving climate change, immigration, consumer rights, and more. But numbers this week from the legislative analysts show California doesn't have any wiggle room in its spending right now.
If Trump attacks your rights, I'll be there.
That's California Attorney General Rob Bonta speaking in a news conference 2 days after the election. That same day, Governor Gavin Newsom ordered a special session of the legislature to convene December 2nd to provide additional funding to the California Department of Justice and other agencies, departments, boards, and offices within the executive branch to support filing lawsuits challenging actions taken by the incoming Trump administration.
Whatever the financial situation, when we have full frontal assaults on who we are, what we stand for, our people, our resources, we will fight back.
How much is the state willing to spend? Leaders have not yet given a number. But early in Trump's first presidency, the California DOJ requested $6.5 million additional dollars in the budget, specifically to pay for the added workload of fighting overbroad federal directives that threaten the constitutional rights of California's citizens, according to a public document cited by the Sacramento Bee. Earlier this week, the state's nonpartisan Legislative Analyst's Office released its budget projections for the coming year, saying the budget picture is fair for the upcoming year, but it does not have capacity for new commitments, particularly ones that are ongoing.
We're playing a bit of a guessing game at this point.
Kevin Johnson is professor of law at the UC Davis School of Law and witnessed California's legal battles during the first Trump administration. He says fighting the federal government takes a lot of resources, but the state DOJ already employs about 1,000 attorneys.
I'm not necessarily very worried about the Attorney General's office being able to staff this or the costs of it. If the legislature and the governor wanted to increase the number of areas to bring suit or to increase the number of attorneys involved in this, that, as you know, would cost money.
So we'll see. Now, speaking at a news conference yesterday, Governor Newsom told reporters he'll be putting out a detailed budget plan in coming weeks. Between that and the special session set for early December, we'll likely learn more in the next couple of months about exactly how much state leaders want to spend fighting the Trump administration and how they might come up with those funds. Alex?
And to the point is going more in depth, looking at the Trump transition and the impacts to California. So streaming right now on our ABC 10 Plus app is our conversation with political strategist, Democrat Roger Salazar and Republican Craig DeLuz. Here's one clip addressing what could happen if the Department of Education is dismantled. Tony Thurmond, our California state superintendent, says eliminating the Department of Education would cost California as much as $8 billion for special needs students and low income students. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and again, that's one of the big things that the Department of Education does is administer and fund those programs. You've got to figure out a replacement for it. Otherwise, those kids just get left out in the cold.
Or just once, as I said before, let those resources go directly into the states or directly into the schools, and let the locals make those decisions as opposed to Washington, D.C.
And you can catch this week's To the Point half-hour conversation on the Trump transition. It's streaming right now on the ABC 10 Plus app, available for free wherever you stream. Still ahead on To the Point, financial literacy in schools, how California plans to roll out a new requirement. All right, meteorologist Carly Gomez has been tracking all of this for us, and we know it's pouring right now.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, a little bit of a break, though. That's the silver lining.
There is a silver lining. We do have some areas this weekend and times where you can actually catch a break from all the rain. We're getting through tonight and into tomorrow morning. So I know a lot of people still have plans in the morning, want to get some small errands done, maybe work out, but we're going to get another hit of rain throughout the morning hours. We'll finally get our break by lunchtime. Weather impact alert day, still the heaviest rain through tonight. The atmospheric river is shifting a little further south and southeast as that storm begins to continue through the early morning hours, especially in the Sierra, piling up that snow. But the valley rain wind will create some tough driving conditions still through tonight. Please be safe. You do not have to go fast. Make sure you're going a little slower than normal. We're looking at slick and dangerous roadways, a lot of standing water, and we don't know how deep some of this water could get and how stable that ground under that water is, whether or not we're looking at potential sinkholes, things like that. So again, please be careful. Sierra snow will begin piling up into tomorrow morning. Two low pressure systems. This one is pulling up that atmospheric river with it, and it is pounding us, drenching us with rain. I mean, we're going to continue to see that through tonight, but it's finally shifting to the south. So San Joaquin Valley, you're starting to get a lot of that heavy rain now and through tonight. Winter storm warning will be in effect until 10 p.m. on Saturday, but also continuing with a winter storm watch for the higher Sierra spots through Tuesday. We're also looking at flooding conditions. There's that winter storm watch till 4 p.m. on Tuesday. There is a flood advisory in effect for our area in the Sacramento Valley until 9 p.m. That's tonight. The line of showers continues to shift to the southeast into our friends for Calaveras County, Sonora, Murphy's, Arnold, Jackson, Angels Camp. And then the high Sierra spots, we're starting to see more of the snow beginning to build up as well. Once we get closer to midnight, we'll finally see a little bit more of a break in the storm. And then finally Saturday morning, another push happens in the early morning hours. And then finally by noon, most of it should start shifting toward the east into the afternoon. We're starting to clear out by Sunday night. Another system expected to arrive. We'll see as much as about a half to another inch of rain expected for the valley spots. And then for the Sierra, snowfall rates, we're looking maybe at another about half of a foot to a foot of snow, maybe expected 1.5 feet towards Sunday, and then maybe another half a foot expected as we start moving toward Tuesday. So again, a lot more snow still on the way. The global model here showing up to 2 feet still near Twin Bridges and Kirkwood. The European model will begin showing us a little bit more. We're looking at maybe about almost 30 inches there. So yeah, a lot more snow still to come through at least Tuesday. We're looking at potentially 2 more feet. The next 3 days, mid to upper 50s. And again, we are still seeing some scattered showers this weekend, but you do have a break Saturday afternoon into Sunday. So some good stuff for you. Monday to Tuesday, still some shower chances, but Thanksgiving is looking so much better. Mostly sunny in the mid 50s.
And you can stay up to date with the weather conditions wherever you are. You can stream with the ABC 10 Plus app. It is completely for free. There you can find live radar, the latest storm news, and of course, hourly forecasts that are tailored exactly for your location. Next on To the Point, the efforts underway to ensure all public high schoolers have access to financial literacy classes, plus what a new report is signaling about home sales after falling mortgage rates. Turning to your price points now, state leaders are discussing how a new financial literacy requirement for high schoolers will be rolled out. Over the summer, Governor Gavin Newsom signed a bill ensuring that all public high school students have access to a standalone personal finance course by 2027. State Superintendent Tony Thurmond says Next Gen Personal Finance will partner with the state to help raise money to support professional development for the educators who will teach these required classes.
A model curriculum draft will be created to give educators an example of what it will look like in their classrooms. We will have writers, many who have a teaching experience, who will work together to create a draft, and that work will be underway shortly.
Supporters of the new law say personal finance education equips students with essential life skills for financial independence and success. A dip in mortgage rates turned into a bump in home sales last month. The National Association of Realtors says home sales jumped 3.4% in just 1 month. Compared to a year ago, sales in October were up 2.9%, the first annual gain since 2021. It's time for another trip on the back roads. This week, John Bartel taking us to the Eastern Sierra to do some leaf peeping along the June Lake Loop.
When you think of the autumn season, you probably think of the vibrant yellow, red, and orange leaves of the East Coast. But this is not the East Coast.
California is not known for its fall colors, but if you head to the Eastern Sierra and take the June Lake Loop, I think you'll think differently.
This is the time of year that a lot of us wait for.
Dude, autumn happens here too.
The June Lake Loop, or Highway 158, hugs up against a stark and steep portion of the Sierra Nevada. Along the 15-mile drive, you'll pass by 4 uniquely picturesque lakes.
You can just drive the loop. You don't even have to get out of your car. We get to see all these beautiful lakes, fall colors.
Laura Kaler and her infant son Will help operate California Fall Colors, an online reporting database that maps out the changing leaves in real time.
We have over 100 color spotters that send us reports from around the state.
And one of those spotters is photographer Dakota Snyder.
Every time I go out, I end up taking like 1,000 photos a day.
For many visitors, the first lake you will encounter is Grant Lake. It's a bit sparse along the shoreline, but there's pockets of color that really pop if you look around up against the rocky hillside.
Cottonwoods and willows and aspens all along the road.
Next on the loop is Silver Lake, which lives up to its name by reflecting the bright foliage off the glassy water. Silver Lake has one of the most dense tree populations on the loop, and above it all is Horsetail Falls.
It's huge, and so that just is, makes those fall colors even more dramatic when you see this huge waterfall coming down the mountains.
A good vantage point to see Horsetail Falls is from the Silver Lake Resort restaurant parking lot, which is also a good place to grab some breakfast or lunch. As you wrap around Silver Lake, there's a pull-off that leads you to a grove of quaking aspen. Be warned, you will run into other photographers waiting for the morning sun to hit the trees at just the right angle.
Truly, when you're trying to capture fall colors, you're really trying to chase light. That means you're getting up really early and you're staying out almost all the way until dark, or you're playing somewhere in between.
Just a little bit after noontime, a slight breeze will pick up in the mountains and you might start to see leaves at Gull Lake falling. I've learned that the leaves start to change color or fall, all depending on the weather.
Cold temperatures and the amount of daylight are what really trigger things to start to change. So in the fall, as we get less and less daylight every day, that gets things going. And then the reason the Eastern Sierra is such a great place to see fall color is because we start to get those cold nighttime temperatures.
Go ahead and stretch your legs. There's a few hiking trails at Gull Lake that'll get you under a nice canopy of changing leaves. Once the leaves change, how long do you really have?
It's usually about 2 weeks, unless we get wind.
Oh, and did I mention autumn is also a great time for fishing. What do you got there? Trout. Nice trout, huh? Speaking of trout, June Lake, which is the final lake on the loop, is well stocked with fish. I was lucky enough to see a load of live trout dumped into the lake, which was perfect timing for these fishermen.
It's the most fish I've seen in my life, and I've been coming up here for years.
June Lake is not only well stocked with fish, but covered in fall colors. You can easily walk from the little town of June Lake to the water's edge, and along the bank, you'll see extravagant homes hiding behind foliage, which often takes longer to change color than the rest of the lakes.
Because of that elevation change, we have one of the longest fall color seasons historically anywhere in the area.
June Lake Loop is kind of an all-day affair, so if you get hungry, I suggest trying the famous pizza at June Pie or grab a beer at June Lake Brewing. Each spot has a great spot to view the fall colors.
Experiencing California's fall colors off the June Lake Loop, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the back roads.
ABC 10 and Wells Fargo are teaming up for the 5th annual Stand Against Hunger to help feed people in need this holiday season. And the Stand Against Hunger campaign is raising money for 7 local food banks. For a list of participating food banks and how you can help, you can always go to abc10.com/standagainsthunger. That is our show tonight. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with us. If you have something that we should be looking into, make sure to reach out to me and the team. And remember, strangers are just people we haven't gotten the chance to meet yet. So take the time to get to know someone. To the Point does not end here. To watch stories that are featured on our show, download our free ABC 10 Plus app. Be safe, have a great weekend, and I'll see you later. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.
Thanks for watching ABC 10 Plus. And now that you're here, why don't we take a look around and see what else is here? The very first tile on your left is always going to be streaming 24/7. You can find us adjacent to that, breaking news if it's there. And then right next to that, a replay of the most recent newscast. Whether it's ABC 10 Morning News at 5, 6, or beyond, it's going to be there. The forecast beyond that, and then right beyond that, the news that matters the most. Now that you know the basic tiles, let's go up to the top and take a deeper dive into news. We have every single newscast that you would need, including To The Point with Alex Bell, taking a deeper dive into the issues. Beyond that, ABC 10 Morning News at 5 and 6 and 11, the evening shows as well. Below that, you can watch the top stories from To The Point. Under that, Dollars and Cents, where you can learn how to navigate this challenging economy. And below that, you can watch our award-winning ABC 10 Special Investigations, where we hold the powerful accountable. Going into weather, look, it's the 10-day forecast, getting you ready for the weekend and beyond. Beyond that, sports. I know you care about the Sacramento Kings. We have the most comprehensive guide to anything, everything Kings in the locker room and on the court. We have it. Below that, I know you care about the San Francisco 49ers. We can't mention base sports without talking about the Oakland A's. We have that too. What's super exciting, I know you care about high school sports. You'll never find a more comprehensive guide and team dedicated to high school sports. Backing out again, come up to the top and join me on Verify. I'm super excited about this. Our experts are checking the facts, verifying the truth for you. Jump up now to shows. Very excited about this. Oh, look, it's Take a Look. This is my show. I love movies, and if you love movies or streaming shows, whether it's on screens this big, or this big, it's Take a Look. Recently went behind the scenes, sat down with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix to talk about Joker 2. I love the movie, and oh, I just heard you shout you hate the movie. Jump in, we talk about it on this show. Other shows, Bartell's Backroads, go up and down the state of California. Tank of gas getaways, one fuel cell getaway, like places like the Toy Museum. This is what kids did before they had screens. Over here, the Moaning Caverns of Calaveras County, one of the most coveted caves in all of California. You know, watching this show, I discovered there's a cave that could fit the entire Statue of Liberty in your own backyard. You'll find about that and more with Bartell's Backroads. Down below that, To The Point. It is one of my favorite newscasts because they talk about news with Alex Bell the way you talk about news. It's conversational, but in-depth at the same time. Below that, Your California Life. Love this show. Whether it's entertainment, food, beverage, lifestyle, it's there. Desiree Shepherd hosts and does an amazing job. So there you have it. It's ABC 10 Plus, the app. What do you need? We heard you and we got it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming.